So hello, Istanbul. How are you enjoying the event today? Is it good? Excellent. As Isabella said, my name is Pam Chandor, and I'm the Global Vice President for Social Business. I'm visiting from Chicago, and I've been in Turkey for the week, and I have to say I'm enjoying your glorious fall weather. It's beautiful. I've been here 3 times this year, and I don't think I've been in a more beautiful location on the river with this beautiful, or it's the sea, anyway, in this beautiful palace. I have this really cool job where I fly around the world and I get to see how customers are using our solutions to bring value to their business. And it's very rewarding for me, and I will share some of those stories with you today. And as your reward for sticking with us all day, I hope I'll give you some ideas of how social business could work in your organization and get your creative mind flowing. So without further ado, so let's define social business. I've had a lot of people ask me, what is social business? And we were talking about how some people think that means that we give to charity, or we support poor children, or maybe we have parties after work. But really what social business is, and it's evolved from social media on the consumer web and taking the tools, the techniques, and the culture, and the best of those and applying them to business. And they have a lot of value for business. So a social business, by definition, is one that's engaged. That means they're not pushing out information and telling employees or customers or business partners what they think. They're also listening. They're engaging. They're responding in an authentic manner. They're being transparent. That means sharing information, learning from the network, but also contributing and providing value as well in return. So an organization that's engaging and transparent also has the ability to be nimble, to spot trends before they come, to be able to react very quickly, to be able to make effective plans and be competitive going into the future. So McKinsey, they are a consulting organization out of the United States. You might be familiar with them. And they've actually been studying the effects of social on business for the past 5 years. And they publish annual reports on this. And they talk about what that return is on investing in social for business. And you can see the numbers here. They're pretty impressive. Marketing effectiveness can go up 20%. Sales revenue goes up. Customer satisfaction goes up. Those are all really good things. Now let's look on the other side of the chart where we talk about social by the numbers. 79% of businesses are now using social in some way, shape, or form, which is a huge majority. Now this 45% number here, it's interesting. It's this group of millennials, or the Gen Y population that we talk about. And I understand in Turkey that half the population is under the age of 28. So this is most of the population here. Of this group of individuals, they will take jobs that pay less if they can have social tools to help them do their jobs better. So a pretty interesting thing to think about going forward. And then 73% of CEOs say that within 5 years, social will be the #1 way that they engage with their customers. And this statistic comes from an IBM study. And some of you might be familiar with the IBM CXO studies, But every year, our global services organization will go out and survey a group of C-level executives, more than 1,000 for every study, to see what the trends are, what the market's thinking. And social was a big topic for the CEO survey that was published in November of last year. So these studies are available. I don't know if you've gotten copies of them from your team, but they are available on the web, and we can provide them to you if you'd like to see them. And it's one way that we also contribute to the social network around the world. So today we're going to talk about social business patterns. So I have this great team of 40 consultants around the world who've been working with our clients, and we have thousands of clients who are using social business. Thank you, that's much better for my eyes. That are using social to improve their business. And they've recognized that there's a set of patterns, specific ways, repeatable ways, where clients can get value from social business. This represents 70% of the area where clients are getting value. So I thought I'd share those with you today, that you might find those of interest. So the first one is finding expertise. This means being able to get to people, to documents, to information that you need very quickly. Second one is knowledge sharing and innovation, really bringing together the wisdom of the crowds and getting that best answer, bringing products to market faster, getting to new ideas, being innovative and creative, supporting creative thinking. Reinventing customer engagement, being, as I said, that engaging in a two-way dialogue. How do you make that experience for your customers, your constituency, your citizens engaging so that they spend more money with you, have higher customer satisfaction, get better customer service? Recruiting and onboarding. Understand that from being here in Turkey that it's very hard to retain employees. So recruiting and onboarding can help you to recruit the right people who match your culture in your organization, helps with retention, make sure that you onboard them quickly, which means getting them up to speed to do their job more effectively. Mergers and acquisitions, helping those to go smoothly and effectively and successfully. And last but certainly not least is safety. Workplace safety and public safety can also be improved and enhanced with the use of social tools and social solutions. So I'll spend a few slides on each one. So first we'll talk about what the challenges are and why this is an issue for companies in general. And then what is the value, and then we'll give some customer examples. So first, a statistic. Employees waste at least 1 day a week trying to find the information that they need. And if we turn that over, your customers, 22% will disengage if they can't find what they need from you very quickly. And this last quote, it's becoming more important not what you know, but what you share. And interestingly enough, back in May, I was presenting at a Women's Leadership Summit in New York on how social business is used in IBM sales. And presenting with me was a woman who was head of HR for Deloitte Touche. And she mentioned the biggest trend in HR now is to measure people on how much they share in social networks. So not on how well they did against their own personal objectives, but how much they're sharing and supporting the entire business. So this is certainly an interesting thing to see how that plays out. So how can social business help this? So it's not only about finding experts and finding information, but finding the right experts, trusted information, what you need, what you know is correct. And through things like likes, ratings, downloads, you can visualize and see what is the information that is right, that people are using the most often, and the information that's trusted. And then also you can, as I said, visualize this through social analytics. And then there's huge, excuse me, I've got to talk into the microphone. There's huge ROI to this. 30% speed to access, 20 to 25% an increase in productivity, and then 80% increase in engagement through recognition and things like people getting their ratings through what they share. So Imtech is an ICT services organization out of Europe. They have offices in many different countries and a diverse set of consultants with different expertise. Through adopting a social network for their employees, they were able to very quickly find the right skills to put on the right projects as needed, and able to achieve 90% adoption, meaning 90% of their employees actually engaged in the social network. What's really important is not that you give somebody a social tool, it's that there's a reason for them to use it to do their job better or to be more effective, to serve their customers better. And so this obviously happened at IMTech. And they increased the productivity of their consultants as well. Now I want to spend a little time on this slide. If we had more time, I could do an actual demonstration. But this is a tool called the Expertise Locator that we provide. And this is a really huge picture of an iPhone. I think it's taller than me. But so I just want to explain this tool because I understand that the use of iPhones is rampant, and this mobile idea is very well accepted. I did experience the traffic here in Turkey, and so I think a lot of people would love to be able to work remotely or work maybe while they're being driven into work and avoid some of that traffic and be productive in the meantime. So in this example here, we're a banking loan officer or a banking representative who is working in a branch office. And a customer comes in, a small business customer, and he needs to buy a new van to support his company. And he has enough cash to do it, but he's wondering if he should keep his cash and invest it in other things to grow his business, or and take a loan for the van. So I'm not really sure what the pros and cons are, because there's a lot of things that I have to know as this banking officer or banking manager. So I pick up my Expertise Locator and I look through what are the hot topics that people are asking questions about, and I see that there's small business category. So I click on that and I find out who are the experts. And I find this William Smith, and it says he's a loan officer for small business, and so I click on him and I find out how I can reach him, whether it's via chat, whether it's via his mobile phone, whether I should write him an email. But since my customer's sitting here with me, I'm going to see if I can reach him on chat. And so I do, and he takes us through some models, and we share them with the customer. Customer decides he's going to put a little cash down and take a loan for the rest, and it works out really well. So in the end here, what I do then is I say, well, William was a really great guy. He was very helpful to me. So I'm going to add him as a favorite expert, and I'm also going to thank him so he's recognized in the social network as an expert, and that helps bring up his credibility. We'll move on to knowledge sharing and innovation. So this first statistic is pretty interesting. $31.5 billion in losses because information is not shared effectively in the top 500 companies in the world. And only 25% are good at converting innovations into new offerings or into new productivity savings or things that make sense for the business. So this is the challenge here. And then our chairman, Ginny Rometty, actually did a speech a couple months ago at the Council of Foreign Relations. And she talked about social being the new production line. So as we transfer to a knowledge-based market from a manufacturing-based market, social is becoming the basis for bringing new products to market faster than manufacturing them. So breaking down silos, being able to share information across departments, across the world very quickly can help you bring new innovation to light. Taking the wisdom of the crowds, taking the wisdom of many, and coming up with better ideas that will be better accepted and more profitable for your organization. And then leadership as well, sharing knowledge and innovation with things like video blogs and other communications that are more direct. 20% increase in successful innovations, 20 to 25% increase in productivity. So here's another European example. This is the Royal Bank of Scotland. You're probably familiar with them. And the way they became one of the biggest banks in the world was through a lot of mergers and acquisitions. And they were, well, acquisitions, I should say, they were pretty clear and specific with what they needed. They wanted to expand what they were doing. They were pretty good at personal banking and high-end banking. They, for instance, acquired Citizens Bank in the US, who are really good at retail banking. And they acquired ABN AMRO, who are good at commercial banking, and several other banks. Their idea was, how do we take the best in each of these organizations and share it among the big bank and make this a big global bank that's excellent in all of those areas? So they decided that social would help them to change the organization, break down these silos. And so what I have on this picture here, this represents posters that they hung up in all their locations around the world before they launched the social tool and the social networking tool that they had. So you can see in the first one, you see, can anybody help me with, and it's showing how between 7,000 people in 33 different countries, they'd be able to share information quickly. Second, get rid of that very full inbox, that full bunch of email that you just have to go through that takes too much time and makes you unproductive. And then last but not least, helping to show what you know and sharing what you know through the social network. And so RBS continues their journey. They're now going public and sharing social networks with their customers. Reinventing customer engagement. So it says 2/3 of business-to-business customers, half of consumers will leave an organization if they've had a bad service example. Whether this be on your website, via a mobile app, via call center. So improving customer engagement is really important. So you try to advertise or have a position in social media, but 2/3 of consumers say they never even follow brands online. And why do people follow brands online? For instance, a Facebook page. Why do you follow a business's Facebook page? Probably because you want a discount coupon, or maybe because you want to see what new products they're offering, if they're coming out with something really new and interesting. There's many, but you have to have a reason. And the same thing goes with doing social business for work. There needs to be a reason, and there needs to be a very good idea for why you're doing it. And some interesting statistics here, and this is websites, and I understand from talking to customers here that a lot of companies are reinvesting and rewriting their web presence. And I'm acting like this is a mobile phone, but this is a clicker. But providing the mobile channel and providing all those digital channels for your clients and upgrading those to be more modern and more effective. One statistic here is firms that have about 30 pages, which is a relatively small website, get 7 times the lead of ones that have thousands of pages. I would guess that the smaller websites or the fewer pages, you find your information faster, more succinct, more usable. And those customers, though, that are social are spend 40% more with you. So there's a reason for investing in social. So you can build trust with your organization through very focused blogs with subject matter experts, wikis, getting customer answers through more than one channel, through things like tweets, product feedback through crowdsourcing, I should say. Increasing revenue, 20% increase in marketing effectiveness, and better customer satisfaction, better customer loyalty. So this is a really interesting example. This is Children's Medical Center of Dallas. And Dallas is in Texas in the United States, for those of you that aren't familiar with it. And this is the 4th largest pediatric hospital in the United States. And they have a website to support the families of the children that are in the hospital. So they can do things like make appointments and nice business things that you would do with a hospital. But also they built an online community for the parents and the families of children that are ill. And rather than having to go into maybe weekly support meetings that you would do to talk about the issues you're having and get feedback from others who are in your same situation, this is a 24/7 electronic community where people can share those same things. So if in the middle of the night you're having a question, you can't sleep, you can get on and join the community and see if there's anybody else who can help. And in this way, they're serving their customers, their patients better, and helping that experience be better for the families. Recruiting and onboarding. I talked about some of the challenges that I've heard from customers here with recruiting. And 71%, it says here, of executives in organizations are saying that people are their most important asset. So how do we get the right people into our organization? How do we retain them more when we find the right people? How do we get them up to speed and more productive faster? And social is a really great way to attract talent. You're all probably familiar with LinkedIn as one way that recruiting is done. But another effective way through social is to put your own recruiting website out there that helps potential employees understand the culture of the organization. We have techniques while people are filling out an application about the job to determine whether or not, using analytics and using science on personality traits, if those people would be a good fit for your organization. And if they are a good fit, they're much more likely to stay longer, they're much more likely to be a good employee. 30% higher, faster time to value, 20% increase in retention, all good benefits. I think I'm missing a slide. Oh, okay, never mind, I'm not. Excuse me. So this is Toronto Dominion Bank. They're a bank out of Canada in North America. And so what happens with their onboarding solution, what leaders engage socially through things like video blogs on day one with the new employees. Also, they give them access to experts right away. They provide a new hire community so people can ask each other questions that maybe they think we're too dumb to ask an expert or their new manager. And in this way, they've been able to reduce time to onboard new employees by 2 days. Mergers and acquisitions, and this is, I think, a Harvard Business School statistic. 50 to 83% of acquisitions fail to reach their goals. And why is this? Most of it's because of people issues. There's been a communication gap. People don't feel like they're one organization, or the companies start focusing internally on how to make this work, and they stop focusing on their customers. 2 ways where social can help. Talked about video blogs in the last example. That's one great way for leaders to communicate. Tippers in key competencies. So you find out those people in the social network who are those trusted experts, and you recruit them and have them be ambassadors to help with the merger. And also embedding expertise location to help mergers be more successful. So here's a U.S. example of a Bank of New York Mellon, of 2 big New York banks. And what they did was use social to integrate. There's the same departments in each of the banks, right, before they merged. So how do you integrate these into one? So they used communities to do that, to cross relationships among the bankers and among those departments. And they were recognized in CIO magazine for being so innovative and for successfully merging. So 400 business process focused communities were built in 4 months from the social networks, and 65% of the employees participated in these, so they were of a lot of value. So challenges with safety. So a lot of you, well, most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with things like the BP oil accident and other big, huge safety things that have happened. They can hugely hurt a company's reputation, their market capitalization, shareholder equity. But really, safety is about saving lives, keeping people safe, and saving money from work-related accidents. So social business can embed safety into the culture through things like communities and videos on safety practices. And this is part of learning and sharing crowdsourced preemptive safety things like ideation blogs of how do you keep things safe, and then being able to bring experts on site. There's another aspect of safety I didn't mention, which is public safety. And through things like social analytics and social listening, you can listen for trends and preempt events from happening and being prepared. And so we can reduce costs, injury claims, keep people safe. Now Cemex, I don't know if you're familiar with Cemex. They're a big manufacturing company, and they make cement, and they're based in Mexico, so now you'll never forget where Cemex is and what they do. But they are a global company. But they leverage social to minimize risks aligned with safety. So they've built communities around it. They share videos around awareness and compliance. And one interesting thing is that safety engineers can take videos of something that's happening that's broken or that's not working right and access experts to very quickly fix it. And once that happens, they put those videos as part of their information, of their knowledge capabilities, so people then can access them in the future and use that to solve problems more quickly. So the next step, the call to action for you is hopefully one or two of these resonated with you, that there's some ideas that you have with your organization, and we'd love to explore those further. We've got tools, and we've got models and return on investment studies and workshops that we can do with you to help you get started very quickly. So here's a short advertisement on what IBM can do for you in social business. Social business is one of IBM's key initiatives starting in 2013. And what that means is it's not a single product, it's not a single offering, but it's the entire company of IBM engaging and acting behind this initiative, because we do think there's so much value and we believe that for our customers. So we're really focused on customer outcome, and right now we're serving 60% of the Fortune 100. We're expanding all the time as people see value in this area. We're differentiated because of the platform that we've built around this. As I said, it's not a single product, a single SaaS or a software offering, but it's a solution with services and knowledge behind it. We've been the market leader in social software for the last 5 years now. And because of that, we have this deep ecosystem, which means we have partners that have expertise to help you deliver these solutions. There are other software offerings that are built that attach and support this platform. And we've got new capabilities that are coming in all the time because we've built this based on open standards. We have things that we can insert as they become available, things like gamification, things like video, resulting in always improved platform. And here's a picture of our platform. 2 areas of focus: smarter workforce, which is improving employees, making them more productive, and then exceptional customer experience, as I mentioned, that customer-citizen engagement area. Underneath it, social networking, social analytics, social content, and social integration are the 4 key areas. And these solutions can be deployed from the cloud, on-premise, or in a hybrid environment. And here's some opportunities to learn more. First, I mentioned those CXO studies. We just published a CIO study this month. I think it was last week, or maybe it was the beginning of this week. The CEO study, these are all available for you if you're interested in those, taking a look. The social business patterns that I just talked about, we have a white paper on those I'm happy to share. We even have one in Turkish, although I don't see too many people with headphones. Seems like a lot of you can understand English, but we do have Turkish versions. And And then how to act. So as I mentioned, we've worked on projects with thousands of customers around the world. So we've taken that intellectual capital and we make it available for our customers. We have a social business agenda, which I consider to be a roadmap of the things that you need to think about, consider, and plan for before you start your social projects. Second thing, we can help you define the business value, help you determine where's the most likely area for you to get success, and what's going to be the easiest for you to implement. And then last but not least, we've developed an adoption framework, a way for you, a step-by-step way for you to make sure that the social project that you've put out there will be used by your employees, used by your clients in a successful manner. So with that, I will finish and say thank you to everyone. And I think next we have a panel, and I don't know who I'm supposed to introduce. Thank you.